idea, and I know it seems like, and this will strike a note for a lot of actors out there, especially the actors of the starving artist or the broke actor. Man, it just doesn't work that way. You don't expect fire and warmth from your furnace without putting oil or wood into it first. You stoke it with fuel, aka you invest fuel into it, and then you get results. So the people out there, it's like I'm now of an opinion you should always be in some class. Always. Doesn't have to be an acting class necessarily, probably should be. But if you take a break from an acting class to take something physical, or you take a jiu-jitsu class or karate class or a dialect class, great. But you should always be in classes. And the other thing that comes to is auditions, investing in your auditions. I know a lot of people who are like, well, I'll pay for classes and I'll pay for self-tapes. I'll go to a place for self-tapes when I book a job. And it's like, if you don't see the backwardsness to that, it's like, you got to figure that out, like find a way. And if you were truthful for yourself, you'd look at the pizza, the movie nights, maybe the booze, maybe the beer, maybe the wine, somewhere in, like in the case of the self-tapes, most places we're talking 50 to $100. But here's the deal. When you book one of those, that's $1,000, $10,000. It might be $100,000 if it's a leading role. So it's like, you're telling me you're not going to invest $50? Like how many $50 investments for a self-tape would you make back from a lead role in a sitcom? It's like you could probably do 1,000 of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, the return on that investment is going to come. The return on your training is going to come. But if you're out there thinking, nah, you know what? When I book a gig, that's when I'll get headshots. That's when I'll take some classes. That's when I'll start doing professional auditions. Good luck. It might work out, but you're going to leave a lot of money on the table in the meantime, and you're really just going about things backwards. And it's an investment of time. It's an investment of energy, and it is an investment of money. And again, one of my coaches always says, the transformation begins with the transaction. Think about how many courses or how much learning you've done on your own where you didn't pay for it. Maybe it's you got a book, or you enrolled in a free course, something you saw online, and you got the freebie. Did you implement it? Did you even finish it? Did you commit to it? Did you show up? A lot of free challenges online, for example, where it's like, come take my free 5-day transformation challenge. Well, maybe you show up day one, maybe you half-ass it day two. Day three, you're on it, but you're multitasking, so you're opening other tabs. And then day 4, you don't show up, and you're like, I didn't pay for it anyway. Who cares? But the difference to, okay, I'm going to pay for a week-long intensive. Here's $1,000. Are you going to show up? Fuck yeah. And it's the same thing with personal trainers. That's a lot of it with personal trainers or with nutritionists. Fork over $500 for a month or for a 90-day, like whatever the time period is, doesn't matter. But when you put money to something, you raise it up, and if you care about money, you're going to put a little more into it, and you're gonna deliver, and you're gonna work harder in that time, versus people who are always trying to get the cheap way or they're always trying to get the shortcut. There's a lot of people out there who you're trying to get maximum results with the least amount of input, instead of the other way around. Put the most input, meaning the most time, the most energy, the most money you can, and then see how you transform as a person. And it's going to be game changer for you, life changer. So invest in that stuff. Invest.